I was first told about Poetry Out Loud at school. I am a part of my speech and drama team, so my coach gave me this opportunity knowing that I already really enjoy speaking and doing kind of public communications type things. So, and when I first started Poetry Out Loud, I wasn't quite certain what I was doing, but I find that communication skills are severely lacking in our country lately, and it's quite depressing. So I wanted to do something that really helped us kind of live out what I think we need to be doing, being more expressive, taking into consideration the importance of the written word and using it more often and making it known to the public and known to students so that they can try to become more literate, more composed, and try and bring that back to our country and our society and frankly into our schools. So I was very interested in it, and that's what originally inspired me.
By contrast, I'm not a public speaker at all, and we were given this assignment because we were doing an entire poetry unit, and Poetry Out Loud gave me a chance to understand it in a way outside of class. It gave me a chance to inhabit the speaker, because speaking poetry is something that people they don't do anymore. And to be given a chance to speak something very simple and yet so complex, it's hard to do, and yet it's a great thing to do, and that's why I did it. It's given me... I read better now because of it, because you're always trying to, like, when I read things, I'm always trying to say, okay, well, who is this person speaking to? And if I can speak it myself, I can understand how to take it for myself. You can't really understand writing or poetry until you've either written it or spoken it. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I agree with Barbara. I originally was not a fan of poetry until I did Poetry Out Loud, and it helped me understand that poetry is not meant to just stay on the paper. It's meant to be spoken aloud and heard by people, and it really gives you a new sense of appreciation, I think, for poetry that many people don't have, that you're supposed to hear it, you're supposed to be moved by the words, and you're right, it's very simple, but it has complex meaning that you can hear and see through expression and articulation that you can't experience when it's just on a piece of paper. So I think that's what I've gained through it.
The first artist that we had was a musician, and the second one was an actress, and I think they kind of downplay the whole horror of performing in front of someone, because speaking poetry is not supposed to be, Armageddon. It's just poetry, and they kind of give that to the class, and also they teach you, the elements of performing, and music goes... It's inseparable from poetry, so definitely my first year doing this was with a musician, and it helped a great deal.
Yeah, I know when we had the poet come to our class, for others it was really helpful who had never been exposed to any type of recitation contests and probably thought it pretty traumatic to stand in front of people and say something that they haven't even written that somebody else wrote. And I think the poet really emphasized the importance of knowing your poem and understanding it, and how that is what will help you recite it, and that it's really exactly what Barbara said. It's not supposed to be extremely serious and frightening. Poetry is supposed to be enlightening and fun. It's poetry, so I think they helped that a lot.
You can't do anything wrong. You've never done it before, and it is the funnest thing when you're doing it the first time. And just really have fun with it, and poetry is about those quirks in a thought process. It's about rhythm, it's about sound, it's, you're just as quirky as the poet, so take that and just have fun with it.
Yeah, I agree with what Barbara said. The poem and the sound and the rhythm is so unbelievably important, and taking what the author has already done, it's their words. You are being an outlet for what the author has already said, and that's what you want to shoot for. That's your goal. You want to bring words to life, and you can't do that without your voice, and that's why Poetry Out Loud is so different from anything else. It's your voice, it's your sound, you're playing with the words, you're manipulating them, and you have that power. But also the words have power in themselves, so let them do their work and have fun. Most definitely have fun, and do as much as you can to bring what the author has put onto paper into existence.